Welcome to another video of Rebellion Studios, formerly known as Inception Closer. So in this channel, I'm going to continue to talk about the various courses, sales courses. I'm also going to be transitioning into doing a little bit more movie reviews, talking about some of the latest gear that I will be acquiring over the course of time. Maybe from time to time, we'll be also renting gear, all that kind of stuff. So I actually have someone right now building a website for me, so that's taking a little bit of time. If you want to check it out, it's rebellionstudios.ca. I think right now all it says is coming soon. So I've been working on that. I use Upwork to hire my web designer. So if you're interested in finding a web designer, go check out Upwork. This is not a sponsorship, by the way. I just thought I would give you an update as to what's going on right now. So I decided to pivot a little bit in regards to, I probably spent the last 10, 11 months in the process of becoming an inbound closer for other organizations. And what I found was it really came down to understanding the niche that you're in. And what I'm running into lately, like with friends that are on the inside, on the industry of inbound closing, is you have to basically be on the phone anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a day. And if people ghost on you, you got to follow up with your list. And then also you have to be able to drum up new leads and all this kind of stuff. Then I got to thinking, that sounds pretty cool, and obviously you can make cash, $980 checks and all this kind of stuff. But with that kind of inertia that I'm doing for other businesses, I thought, well, why not do it for myself? Why not pick up the phone and cold call? Why not drop off business cards, promotional material, call up friends, all that kind of stuff that I've done business with in the past. And instead of me just being a freelance videographer or a freelance editor, why don't I build my own empire? Why don't I just do that? I'm using the same amount of inertia for someone else, so why not use that same inertia for myself and get a better return, a bigger return? So for video productions, I find it a heck of a lot easier to be able to pick up a phone and have an intellectual conversation with someone over the phone about videos. It could be something including YouTube videos for their YouTube channel. It could be commercials. It could be short films, all that kind of stuff, and including talking about gear, because I do love all the latest gadgets, really, and I think in the past year I've probably spent thousands of dollars on sales training programs, and part of it makes me a little bit sad because I could have put that money into drones, top-notch video equipment, all this kind of stuff. But I really wanted to build a foundation of sales. That was very important to me during the pandemic. Last year, I thought, you know what, I got to do something. I got to build up my sales game so that I can have the confidence to be able to talk to anyone over the phone. And after building these skills, you quickly realize that all of a sudden you have enough skills to be able to not just be a little birdie, but you can actually go out and generate income for yourself. You can just pick up the phone and say, yeah, I can do a video for you. I got fish. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's there was a debate between Grant Cardone and Jordan Belfort in regards to coming up with pitches, scripts, all this kind of stuff when it comes to sales. And really, at the end of the day, I think what Grant Cardone's point was, it is better to actually be out there hustling instead of, you can actually be behind the scenes working on the perfect script and trying to get every word right and all this kind of stuff. And it's good to have a format and a process. but you still have to go out there. You still have to hustle. You still have to make phone calls. You have to network, all that kind of stuff. You have to do that. If you are totally reliant on having people bring stuff to you, which is kind of the whole inbound closer niche, if you will, is there are a group of people that just sit and they just wait to be fed. Come on, feed me, feed me, feed me. I'm not one of those people. If something isn't working in this area, I will pivot and I will do something that can generate income. And really, because I have a bunch of projects lined up right now for video editing, videography, maybe photo shoots down the road, weddings, uh, short documentaries, which I would love to do. I'd love to do a short film. That would be fantastic, especially in our hometown, Cochrane, Alberta, Canada. Probably one of the best cities in the world, bar none. If you think that you know of a better city to live in, feel free to type it in the comments below, because I honestly can't think of a better place. Like, you thinking maybe Turks and Caicos? I don't think so. Australia? You think Australia is better than where I live? Tough one, tough one. What about Mexico? It's nice to have beaches and stuff, but there's always a consequence of suffering through a hurricane and all this kind of stuff. Same thing in Florida. You can have some fantastic days, go surfing and all this, but there's always that risk. When I went to Florida, you know what we did every night? We watched the news, because Hurricane Cassidy, Hurricane Diego, Hurricane Edgar, Hurricane Frank, all these hurricanes were on the horizon. And you're thinking, do we evacuate tonight, or we just ride it through and then hopefully we can go out to the beach tomorrow? Like, that gets old after a while. In Cochrane, I just, worry about the weather getting a little bit cold, for a few days, maybe a few weeks. And with the Chinooks and stuff, like, I don't know, it's pretty nice area. We're about 20 minutes from the mountains, probably the best views in the world. And this isn't supposed to be a bragging video about where I live, but I wanted to also give you the mindset of where I'm at right now. So I have a meeting this afternoon with a gentleman that currently owns a bunch of video drones. So I'll be partnering with him as well, because sometimes you, in order to produce fantastic videos, you don't have to own the latest and greatest gears. You don't. Like, I've owned cameras that were $10,000. That was a Betacam SP camera. You had a little tape that only held 20 minutes worth of footage at 50 megs per second. And the battery, we called them chocolate bars back in the day. The batteries would only last maybe 20 minutes, a half an hour, and you had to change them. They took forever to charge. So those were the cameras, and one of those cameras I ended up selling to a gentleman in India that wanted to make weddings. He wanted to shoot weddings with this Betacam. Guess how much I sold it to him for? $500. Yes, so you don't have, if you continually buy gear year after year and you don't have a process or you don't have a network, you're going to run out of money fast. You simply are, because you can't keep up with all the gear. Now, what I also like to do as well is I also rent equipment as well, depending on how big the shoot is. Because sometimes, like, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on gear just for one video shoot. So you don't need to keep that all in your house, because then there's insurance liability and all this kind of stuff. So what I like to do is I rent gear, or I will purchase gear depending on the shoot that I am on. And I'll be talking about that in other videos as well. So hopefully this kind of gives you a perspective of where I am at. And if you're thinking about becoming an inbound closer, I encourage you to check all the videos on my channel from the very beginning And really, at the end of the day, it is a glorified sales position slash telemarketer at the end of the day. That has been my experience. You have to make hundreds of calls a day. You have to be on the phone minimum 6 hours a day. Some people will say, no, you can do it part-time. I haven't experienced that. It almost feels like there is no such thing as part-time. And if you disagree with me, feel free to comment, because I know too many people that are in the inbound closer niche that are working 40 hours plus training. So you're looking at 50 hours plus. Now, if you have a full-time income, you have a full-time job somewhere else, it is not easy to transition over into something like an inbound closer part-time, because they expect you to be open to taking calls, because people's schedules are crazy. You need to be available basically as soon as the day starts, from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock at night. You just have to be available. That doesn't mean you're on the phone the whole time, but if somebody goes, you got to jump on another call, all this kind of stuff, and it is a full-time job. So I know with Sales Mentor, they kind of make it out to be, you get calls sent to you, emailed to you, whatever, and then you basically talk to the people on the phone, and you are basically collecting $980 checks. Well, that's not exactly how it happens. And again, check out my channel here, watch the videos, all this kind of stuff. I find it easier to sit down with a company and share with them almost the same idea, some of the scripts that I have, figuring out what they're doing for budgeting with their company, and then offering my video services and collecting a check to get going on a project. I find that way easier. You're still on the phone, you're still reaching out, you're still cold calling and all this kind of stuff, but when you come at it from the position of someone with authority, it makes it a lot easier on the phone. It does. It just does. So I hope that helps. And if you ever need to reach out to me, you could always reach out to me at rebellionstudioscochran@gmail.com, and I'll try and respond to your email as well. Thanks a lot. See you in another video. Bye for now.